Sadly, I'm not going to be able to see anything next week, which makes me very sad because I really, really want to talk about Borderlands. When I started this channel, I made a promise. I swore to myself I would never roast a movie just for the sake of it. But sometimes you see a film that's just so disrespectful in its conception, so unapologetically lazy in its execution that you just want to... No! I made a promise. I can still walk away.
I don't want to!
It's pink.
It's in my mouth!
It's time to fucking cook. Borderlands is a film adaptation of a popular video game franchise featuring an all-star cast and promising non-stop action and an offbeat sense of humor. At least that's what it appears to be. On the surface, but let's go ahead and remove that Scooby-Doo mask and find out what we're really dealing with here. Borderlands is a blatant studio cash grab developed by and for lazy, jaded people who do not care about either film or video games. Is that too mean? I don't give a shit. If you're gonna make a movie in bad faith, I'm gonna review it in bad faith. I mean, it's already a red flag when they have to market it as from the producers of something you liked, instead of, people who actually contribute creatively. But in this case, they couldn't even find any good movies these producers produced. These are just movies that made money. Are we sure this trailer's for the consumers? Because I'm pretty sure they just accidentally made the shareholder pitch reel public. And that right there is really all you need to see in order to know that this isn't gonna be worth your time, much less the money you spend on a ticket. But because I'm angry at myself for giving Lionsgate whatever percentage of the ticket price they get when I use A-List, I am giving Borderlands the full reviewed in 5 treatment anyway. Somehow, I am going to speak on writing, directing, acting, originality, and entertainment. So get those plates ready, because this is about to be a 5-course meal of fucking roast beast. This movie is reportedly written by Eli Roth and Joe Crombie. Reportedly, Joe Crombie is not real. That's a fake name people use when they don't want their real name associated with a movie. And even Alan Smithy was too high profile for this. I'm actually going to speculate one step further and say that this is the name studios give when they don't want you to know AI wrote their scripts. I refuse to believe that a human being wrote the words, "Was this your home? Yes. I lived here once." Or how about any other objections? Yeah, you breathing. But I'll make an exception if you let my friends go. And this is before we even get into the scene where the gang's stealth cover gets blown because Claptrap is shitting too loud. By the way, if any of this sounds even the slightest bit fun, I promise you it isn't. Only see this movie if you're a big fan of things like unnecessary voiceover narration, poop jokes, famous lines from other film franchises, weirdly. The stuff you get when writers can't be bothered to do their jobs. The humor in this movie could be best described as uncomfortable, and worst described as humor. Let me give you some context on just how unfunny it is. When I saw Trap, which I also consider to be a bad movie by the way, people in that theater were laughing frequently at moments that definitely were not supposed to be funny. And in the Borderlands theater, there was no laughter. None. I mean, I might have heard like a from the far side maybe once, but they could have also just been blowing their nose. 1 out of 5. Borderlands is reportedly directed by Eli Roth. You may notice that I'm saying reportedly a lot, because it's been abundantly obvious ever since the rating was announced that the primary creative vision behind the project has been coming from Lionsgate executives. And if you're wondering why notorious hard R gore director Eli Roth would sign on to a PG-13 adaptation of a notoriously bloody and crass video game series, the answer is he didn't. They filmed this shit to be R-rated. Apparently he wanted Tiny Tina to throw spaghetti entrails at the camera. Apparently Tannis was supposed to be sexually attracted to a chair. By the time they reshot the movie to cut all that shit out, Eli Roth was like, bitch, I'm over this. I'm already making another movie. See ya. So on the one hand, I want to give him a pass, but he also fought for the inclusion of the Claptrap shitting scene. So you know what? Just Just get out. I'm done with you. Let's talk about that PG-13 rating. I want to pose a question to whatever unfortunate victim of business degree brain rot made that decision. How exactly is watering down M-rated source material supposed to broaden its appeal when the audience for the source material is already 13? Do you really think it was the highbrow cultural elites who were laughing at Butt Stallion? What world are you living in where even my Catholic school ass wasn't edgily uttering fuck on the 4th grade playground? And don't give me that shit about how minors can't just walk into a restricted showing. The game that popularized this series came out 12 years ago. We're all adults now. And if you want the final nail in the coffin of this honestly inexplicable decision, Deadpool exists. And that's really all anybody should have had to say. I guess I could also talk about how the movie looks, but maybe I should give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they were trying to be faithful to the video game by having absolutely everything look animated and not real. 1 out of 5. I gotta preface this part by saying that I can't even really blame the actors for what I'm about to say here, because what we have is this unfathomably loaded cast of the most charismatic people on the planet, and universally, across the board, they are all pissing me off. You know it's bad when they got Kevin Hart and he's only like the 3rd or 4th most obnoxious person in the film. I mean, come on! Kate Blanchett made us root for an abuser. Jamie Lee Curtis made us root for a fucking IRS agent. How do you fumble the bag this hard? I'll tell you how. Borderlands is a video game franchise, and as a wise video game man once said,
"The game is fun. If it's not fun, why bother?"
No one here is having fun. Lilith is supposed to be driving the story, but Kate Blanchett doesn't want to be here in character and in real life. Claptrap is supposed to be comic relief, but all he does is whine and complain. Tannis is also supposed to be comic relief, but she's fucking racked with guilt all the time. Video game Tannis would never, by the way. Tiny Tina was born to be wacky and unhinged, but is forced to be the heart of the movie for some reason. Moxie's supposed to have charismatic sex appeal, but she doesn't, so she just comes off like a predator. Y'all are lucky you're only in the movie for like 5 minutes. Krieg wants to have fun killing people, but he can't because the movie's PG-13. And Roland, who's supposed to be the one straight man in all this, just fundamentally doesn't work as a character because when everybody's frustrated, he's just the same but more boring. If there is one singular bright spot in this movie, like one actual unironic compliment I can give here, Benjamin Byron Davis as Marcus. He did the voice well, but also his purpose here is to piss off Lilith even more. So, 1 out of 5. So as you probably gathered, I am a fan of the Borderlands video game franchise, and as such, I can confirm that this movie has many Easter eggs. But unfortunately, this is the kind of film that thinks name-dropping something is the same as paying it homage. Oh, the Bloodshot Bandits? The psychos other psychos are afraid of? Well, we haven't really seen any psychos up to this point, but okay. We gotta go to Caustic Caverns? The huge, notorious area full of monsters and lore? Cool, here's your average LA storm drain. Actually, I take that back. That joke implies that any of this movie was shot on location. Whoa! Lilith's weapon of choice is the Vladoff Infinity? The legendary pistol that never has to be reloaded? Will that be important at any point? Well, it'll be important for the budget, because now we don't have to shoot coverage. Shut up! This movie's so disappointing as an adaptation that I actually started to feel like a large pit of anxiety forming in my stomach. Like, oh God. Were the games always this bad? So with terror in my heart, I went back and played the 3rd game for a few hours. And keep in mind that this is the one that people don't even like. And within like 5 minutes,
joke's on you! I was in massive debt!
And I realized, nope, my childhood is safe. Y'all just fucked up. 1 out of 5. So all this probably got you thinking, wow, this movie's pretty bad. Maybe I should go see for myself how bad it is. Don't. I fell victim to that temptation. Whatever you think you will gain by going in there, I promise you it is not worth it. It's kind of like The Vault in that way. And also, that's exactly what Lionsgate wants. They know they made a piece of shit, and they're betting that it's bad enough that you'll still spend money on it ironically. In a very literal sense, the only way to win is to not play. You think I enjoyed writing this review? I thought this video was gonna be a slam dunk. Haha, roasting this one's gonna be easy. And the most damning thing about this movie is that it isn't. It's extraordinarily hard because it's a big fucking ball of void with no heart and zero personality. And all the roasts that I try so hard to fucking cook up only feed it and make it stronger. Movie's been out for like 3 weeks. Were you thinking about it until this video popped up in your sub box? So I beg you, for the sake of the Zelda movie that they're apparently making now, do better than me and spend your money on literally anything else. 1 out of 5. I don't even need to do any calculations on this one. I already know I gave this movie a 1 out of 5. That's the lowest my rating scale will go. And somehow it still feels too high. So fuck it, I'm sending this movie directly to the Doom Dimension, and you can consider that an official digit rating. So, have you seen the actually, no, we're not going there. Let's have a conversation in the comments about something else. Oh, okay, yeah, how about this? So what's your favorite gun from the games? Because, I mean, the movie apparently didn't care about that aspect of it. Let's talk about that, and I'll see you next time with another review. Can't say when it's gonna be, but I'll try to make it ASAP. That's right, we're owning that shit now. Peace out, you fucking gamers.